we're going to show you how to install your AmmoBot case extraction system to your AmmoBot equipped 1050. For this installation, you're going to need a 5/32 Allen wrench. First, remove all power from your AmmoBot. After power has been removed, take your 5/8 wrench. We're going to remove the bracket that retains the primer pocket probe to the machine. It's easiest if you remove the handle down and out of your way. Retain the bracket in case you ever need to remove the system. You're going to reuse the 2 screws that held that bracket on to hold on the extractor. Next, remove your locator pin from that station. Now the probe is very bottom heavy, motor's here. So be very careful when handling it. Align the holes on the bracket with the holes in your press and reinstall the screws. Tighten them down with your 5/8 wrench. Excuse me, your 5/32 wrench. Now when you initially install it, the front screw here, give it about a 1/4 turn so it's loose and you can move the head back and forth. You need to make sure that the head, that the wings here do not contact the press mount or the shell plate. If you have it a little bit loose here, you have a slight bit of adjustment where you can adjust back or forth. It's almost always just needs to be a little bit back so it won't make contact. Once you've got the right position, just tighten the screws down with some torque. So the handle's up, you can see where it's at. Since there's no power applied, you can now have free movement to make sure that there's no contact with the wings and the press plate. A note of caution, there are 2 bolts here and here that attach the drive shaft to the mounting plate. Do not loosen these bolts to try to adjust the shaft. Leave these where they are. They're specifically located in those positions. Again, do not release, loosen, tighten those bolts. Leave them where they're at. The next step is very simple. Bring your control box near your primary controller for the AmmoBot. White connector to white connector. They are keyed. Plug them in. Plug the power in to the control box. There's nothing else you're going to need to do as far as software. The software is already built in to the AmmoBot to recognize the case extractor. For your initial adjustment, take a piece of brass, turn the wings out, place it in the shell plate. Bring the wings back so they just touch. If it pushes the brass over, it's too close. Just off of the case so it doesn't make contact and push the brass. And leave it there. If you repeatedly power cycle your AmmoBot with the case extractor installed and the shell plate is empty in the position, on the self-calibration routine, since it doesn't make contact with the brass casing, it may set itself further and further away from the optimal position where it acts as a locator pin. If you do notice that it has now pushed itself beyond the normal location, it's a very simple fix. Simply insert a case into the machine, advance it into that position, and with the machine on, reach over, push the yellow button on the control box, and it will reset itself to where it needs to be. Should require no further adjustment beyond this. Alright, to demonstrate how the system works, so we're going to take a couple of pieces of brass here. We can get them in focus. Try that. Alright, this piece is ringered up. Take a swage rod. You can see the swage rod won't fit in the pocket at all. Next piece, this one is also ringered up, and the swage rod won't fit the pocket. Next piece of brass, this is a decent one here. Swage rod pops right in there, no issues. Next piece, swage rod drops right in. Now they're loaded up here. Get them back in focus. We're going to set the machine up. Stop button in hand. As you can see, until it rejected. It's that red colored one, and that one that's got red marker all over it. Throws them right out of the machine because those pockets are just not right. You can see some ridging in the bits and pieces of the ringer that are left inside the pocket. Unique to AmmoBot. No one else has this. No one's ever going to have this. This is patented by AmmoBot. It's just an amazing capability available to you right now.